Is a Bugatti really worth what it costs? Or are we paying for a story more than a car? Because today, we're not going to talk about marketing, ads, or what they tell you at luxury dealerships. Today, we're going to talk about what happens when someone opens one of these cars up, takes it apart, tries to repair it, and discovers what's really behind it. And that someone is Mat Armstrong. This guy isn't a journalist or a test driver, he's a rebuilder, someone who buys wrecked cars and brings them back to life. And when he decided to take on Bugatti, what seemed like just another project turned into a full-on battle against one of the most exclusive brands in the world. It all starts with numbers that are already insane. A new Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport costs around $3.6 million, and in today's market, some are trading between 4 and 4.5 million depending on the unit and speculation. We're talking about a car with an 8.0-liter quad-turbo W16 engine, over 1,500 horsepower, a transmission capable of handling extreme torque figures, and a top speed that exceeds 250 miles per hour. The cooling system alone uses more than 10 radiators, and every component is designed to handle stress levels no normal car ever sees. On paper, this is as close as it gets to automotive perfection. But everything changes when one of these cars crashes. Mat travels to the United States to inspect a crashed Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport, a car worth around $4 million that, after what seems like a relatively simple accident, ends up being declared a total loss. Why? Because the repair cost is completely disproportionate. Just in parts, estimates reached around $1.7 million. Yes, you heard that right. Repairing the car cost nearly half of what it's worth new. And this is where things get crazy. The car ends up at a Copart auction, one of the largest salvage marketplaces in the United States, and sells for around $1.9 million after fees. That means someone buys a $4 million car for less than half, but with a massive problem. Bugatti has blocked the VIN, and that means something very important. No official dealer anywhere in the world will sell parts for that car. It is completely locked out of the system, and this is where the real battle begins. Because when Mat tries to help rebuild the car, he runs into a total wall. Bugatti won't sell parts, they won't provide support, they won't share technical information. They don't want that car back on the road outside their control. The only official option is to send it back to France and pay for a full factory rebuild that could cost almost the same as buying another new car. This is not speculation, this is exactly how the system works. So Mat does what he does best, ignore the system. He starts taking the car apart, analyzing every component, figuring out how everything works, and this is where things start to get interesting. Piece by piece, he begins to find components that aren't as exclusive as expected. Sensors, electronic modules, switches. He starts seeing references that look familiar, and when he cross-checks them, he finds something crucial. Many parts come from the Volkswagen Group, and this is where everything blows up, because some of those parts are almost identical to components you can find in cars like an Audi A3 or a Volkswagen Golf. Cars that cost $30,000 or $40,000. And here's where you have to stop and think. You're looking at a multi-million-dollar car that shares components with everyday vehicles. And no, this doesn't mean a Bugatti is the same. The overall package is on another level. The engine, the engineering, the ability to go over 250 miles per hour, that's unmatched. But when you zoom into individual components, the story changes completely. And this becomes even more shocking when we talk about pricing, because when Mat tries to source official parts, the numbers are completely insane. Just the front headlights can cost around $150,000. Yes, for that price you could buy a used Ferrari. And that's just one part. In some cases, the engine alone can exceed $800,000, and certain carbon structural components are nearly impossible to source without going through the factory. But here's the interesting part. When Mat starts looking for alternatives within the Volkswagen ecosystem, he finds parts that perform the same function for a fraction of the price. We're not talking about saving 10%. We're talking about differences of 10 times or more. Same function, same result. Completely different cost. And this leads to one unavoidable question. Are you paying for engineering or are you paying for the badge? Because the overall performance of the car is undeniable. But when you analyze it piece by piece, you start to see that part of the value is built on perception. And this isn't unique to Bugatti.
Ferrari shares components with Stellantis, Lamborghini with Audi, but in Bugatti's case, the contrast is much more extreme because of the price level. If you compare it to brands like Koenigsegg, which develops almost everything in-house, or Pagani, which uses AMG engines but builds the rest with extreme craftsmanship, Bugatti sits somewhere in the middle, extreme engineering combined with strategic part sharing. But what really makes this story unique isn't just the parts, it's control. Because Bugatti doesn't just sell cars, it controls everything that happens after. It decides who can repair them, who gets access to parts, how they are maintained, and in many cases, even who gets to buy them. And when someone like Mat Armstrong tries to step outside that system, the response is clear: total shutdown. And yet, he still manages to do it, because with creativity, knowledge and persistence, he starts rebuilding the car. He finds solutions, adapts parts, proves that what seemed impossible isn't actually impossible. And every time he does, he breaks the myth a little more. Because at the end of the day, even a Bugatti is still a machine, an incredible machine, but made of parts. And some of those parts aren't as exclusive as you were led to believe. And this doesn't mean Bugatti isn't worth it. It's still one of the greatest engineering achievements in the automotive world. But it does mean that the value isn't just in what it is, but in what it represents. And that's the key. Because people don't buy Bugatti for logic, they buy it for emotion, for status, for exclusivity, for being part of something very few people can have. And that is what they're really selling. But now you know more. Now you've seen what's behind it. Now you understand how it really works. And that completely changes the perspective. So now I'll ask you, if you had the money, knowing you can buy one at auction for 1.9 million, knowing the market values them at over 4 million, knowing repairs can cost 1.7 million and a single headlight costs 150,000, would you do it? Would you enter that system? Or would you look at other brands like Koenigsegg or Pagani where the approach is different? Let me know in the comments, because this debate is huge. And if you like this content, hit the like button right now and subscribe, because I'm going to keep bringing stories like this, where we break down the hidden side of the automotive world. No filters, no marketing, just reality. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it.